Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is the third entry into the series where I go and take a look back at all the different BL series I've been in, talk about how I got the role, how I approached playing the character, any issues that I may or may not have, and how I may not have overcome them, and also my experience on set, the reception to the series afterwards, and kind of what was going on in my life at the time. And the series I'm going to be talking about in today's video is CutiePie. Let's get into it. To give you guys a little bit of background on what was going on in my life before I got this role. You guys remember about 3.5 years ago, there was this thing going around the world called COVID? I don't know, it was kind of like a big blur now that I think about it because a huge chunk of life just disappeared. But anyway, COVID virus was going around, and as a result, everyone was put into lockdown. Now, I think different countries handled it in different ways, but Thailand went the lockdown route. So what that meant was everyone had to be at home all times. You were only allowed to leave the house, I think, between a certain amount of time. So for example, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that. So that meant that the whole entertainment industry was shut down. A lot of jobs went to work from home. Obviously in the entertainment industry, we couldn't really do that. Actually, it would have been pretty cool if we all lived in one massive mansion somewhere so we could keep shooting. But that would only work if the whole TV show was set on that one house, which honestly would have been pretty cool. But I think according to regulations, they were like, you were only allowed to have a certain of people in a certain amount of space as well. I could just be lying, I don't remember. But anyway, the whole entertainment industry in Thailand was on pause at this point in time. What I mean is I was still working as an actor, but I just had no projects lined up. I was at home, to be honest, playing a lot of Fortnite, but I also did start my YouTube channel, which is fantastic because I've been able to continue that to this day. And I also started streaming, which is honestly one of the most fun parts of my life and one of the things I'm most grateful for from starting this acting career. By the way, I do stream on this YouTube channel if you want to check out one of my streams. I do chat streams and game streams, usually once or twice a week. If you're interested, please turn on notifications down below. So yeah, regarding the no acting jobs lined up, I actually had one. I will address this more in a future video, but Kim Porsche that actually went to screen was like the second version of it, if that makes sense. There was a previous different cast, a different kind of crew company making it. And for reasons I won't get into, that project got scrapped and I was out of the project at that point of time. So I was just living that kind of weird self-employed limbo, unemployed, what is going on in my life, what's going to happen to me kind of thing at that time, until one fateful day I was contacted via Instagram DM by my good friend Nut. So I had worked with Nut and Max on a series called Why Destiny. If you haven't heard of Why Destiny, I made a whole video about it, so please go and check it out. So Why Destiny was a BL series with 7 different couples, and Max and Nut was one of the couples on that show. I was in like a different part of it. And so we met through there. I also met through them P-Off, who is the owner and CEO of Dumandi, which is the company that makes a lot of BLs and, you know, manages like Max Nut, Z, Nunil and stuff like that. So yeah, I got a DM from Nut and he was like, hey, hope you're doing well. We're making this new series called CutiePie and there's actually a character in it called Gemini and P-Off is wondering if you're interested in playing it. So this is unemployed me at the time reading the message like, hell yes. The thing is, guys, when you work as an actor, unless you're like super famous, it's honestly like pretty hard to get jobs. I've never been picky and I was also unemployed, as I have said for probably like the 10th time. So there's no way in hell I'm going to turn down work. You know what's better than any old work? Working with people you know and working with friends. So after I read the message, I was like, hell yes. He honestly gave me like a little breakdown of the character. He's like, yeah, it's this character called Gemini and he's like this foreign guy and he's really cool and he's like the owner of the bar. Dude, I don't care. I'm in. Sign me up. But at that particular point in time, we're still in lockdown. So there was no concrete plans of when it would start shooting because it all depends like on what the government has going on at the time. So once we got the go ahead to like go back on set and start shooting, everything had to move really quickly because at that point in time, we had actually gone in and out of lockdown a few times. So it all depends on how the spreading of the virus is going on. For example, like if we go back to set and then it starts to break out again, we know we'll just get put in lockdown. And the problem is you lose a lot of money because you have to invest money in renting out spaces, renting out sets, locations, hiring people. It's quite a big financial risk to start not knowing that you're going to be able to finish. So once we got the okay, it was like, here's the script, let's do a few workshops and let's get started. So everything had to move really quickly, and honestly, we didn't have a lot of preparation time because in Thailand, when you shoot a drama, we do these things called workshops where we get to know each other better as a cast and like learn acting skills and stuff like that. We don't really have much time to do that because if we spend too much time on the workshops and we don't actually get started shooting the series, we might not actually have enough time to shoot the thing. So we had our first workshop for the series, and honestly, for me personally, it didn't go that well because I had never played a cool character like this before. Yeah, I played Ramen, my engineer, who's cool like this. He's like, cool, like, I'm cool, what up? But Gemini or Jay, his coolness is kind of like, hey, how you doing? That kind of cool. It's like different types of cool. And I'd never played a character like that before. So that was quite challenging for me. Also, as an actor, I guess it's fine to say that it's easier to play characters who are kind of similar to your personality in real life because you can kind of like just be yourself, I guess. I know, you know, on the social medias or even on this channel, I might come across as a pretty cool guy, but I'm not really in real life. I'm a cute little nerd. Do you just call yourself cute? Yeah. So that was a really big challenge for me, not from just an acting perspective, but also from a language perspective, because as many of you know, I'm not a native speaker of the Thai language. So the way cool people speak is very different from the way like not cool people, I guess regular people speak. The words they use or like the ending of words and kind of like the cadence is a bit different. And I know many people like that who are cool like that, but I myself do not talk like that. And so like doing it in a language that's not my native language was quite a difficult hurdle. And I was like, honestly, a little bit freaked out. I was a little bit stressed because I was like, how am I going to do this? But you know what the thing was? It was weird because I had this belief in myself. I had belief and trust that I could do it. I was like, I can do this. I just need to figure it out. What? I went through like a little bit of a Jimmy Neutron moment. Going, think, Jimmy, think.
Come on. Think.
And this is how I did it. I did a workshop for CutiePie. Then I was doing workshops for Kim Porsche. And then I started shooting CutiePie. So after the first workshop, like the acting coach and director was kind of like, I think you can do this, but yeah, just, you know, like be cool. I was like, all right, I got this. I didn't have it. And then I was at workshops for Kim Porsche. Now there was quite a large cast. When we were rehearsing different scenes, like not everyone is in the same scene at the same time. So a few of us like had breaks, and I was on break and I was sitting down with Piping and Pong. We were just sitting down having a few refreshments and talking. And at this point in time, we weren't super close yet because we just started. I was listening to their conversation and I was like, holy shit, this is it. This is how I need to talk. It was within this 2 to 3 hours that I really relaxed, let myself go, started talking a lot more colloquially and just like cool dude-ish with these guys. So I was kind of listening to them. I knew the way to talk. I just never done it, so I didn't feel very confident about it. But sitting down and talk with these guys for a while, I got it. I was like, I got the vibe. I got the feeling, like the groove for it. So I was super grateful for that. Thanks to those lads. It was crazy. Like I had a breakthrough. I was like, I have this now. I can do this. Then when we started shooting CutiePie, I went in and I was pretty confident I had it. And I was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't remember the lines off the top of my head anymore. But anyway, I was like being cool dude. I was like, hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, you good? Whatever. And then we finished shooting my first scene, and the acting coach and director helped me, and they were like, dude, this is really good. Like this is like exactly what we wanted. I was like, yeah, I know. It's no big deal. Just whatever. You know, I'm an actor, so, you know, it's just my job. I'm just doing my jobs. No big deal. No, but seriously, like, it's just, I think it's just because it wasn't my native language was what made it really difficult, because you know how you need to go about it and what to do, but if you've never actually made the sounds or acted like that in real life, it was quite challenging. But I'm really happy that I was able to get a good grasp of that, and also very grateful to my KP buddies for helping me out. I mean, they didn't know it. I didn't say anything to them, by the way. I wasn't like, hey guys, like I got this character that I'm like trying to figure out, but I don't really know how to go about it. We were just having regular conversation in real life. So without them knowing about it, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you. Being on a TV set, just coming out of COVID lockdown, was definitely a new experience, because the number of people allowed on set was reduced because, you know, the situation going on in the world, we weren't allowed to have as many people, not just the actors, but also, you know, directors, acting coaches, sound people, camera people. There weren't a lot of people around. And also to make sure that the production didn't stop and nobody got sick, every day you show up to set, we had to take COVID tests. So there would actually be people, I don't know if they were from a hospital or some kind of medical service, they would be like in kind of like hazmat suits. And when you get to set, you write your name down on the page and then you sit down and they take these super long swabs. Do you guys remember this? You know what's crazy? It's all just like a weird fever dream now. Like it's like it didn't even happen. But anyway, this is what it's like working on a TV set during COVID. You turn up to set and you put your head back and they put this swab really far down and they go tickle 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 and you're like depending on the person, if they were like soft about it, it actually hurt quite a lot. And then they would get your test results and you would find out whether you were safe or not, you know, which is kind of crazy because if you showed up for work and you already had the virus, well, you've probably already spread it to someone. But anyway, that's how all kind of entertainment sets and TV shows were working at the time. But I know that all these precautions and tests were necessary for our safety, just like today's video sponsor NordVPN is necessary for your safety when surfing on the interwebs. Guys, in this modern day, surfing the interwebs can be a dangerous place, especially when you're on public networks outside like libraries, cafes. That's when you're most at risk. There are weirdos out there that want to take that sweet, sweet private information and use it against you. And in worst case scenario, they can steal your identity. I made a silly analogy, but this is real talk. If people take your private information, it's pretty dangerous. But NordVPN helps protect you from getting your private information stolen by encrypting all the data that comes in and out of your computer. NordVPN is super easy to use. All you do is turn it on, click one button, and you're done. Another great feature of NordVPN is that it can be used to change your geographical location online. I actually personally use this feature quite a lot. I'll be watching a series on a streaming service and then I have to travel for work. Then when I go to another country, it's not available on that country's catalog, so I can't continue watching it until I turn on NordVPN, change my geographical location back to where I was before, and bam, continue watching my series. Or you can use it the opposite way. Series that aren't usually available to you, but are available in other countries, you just change the geographical location, and now you can watch them. Also, one of my personal favorite features of NordVPN is it blocks pop-up ads. Those goddamn pop-up ads. If you're interested in using NordVPN, you can use my code PERTH at the checkout for a huge discount on a 2-year deal, or you can use the description down below. By using my code or my link down below, you help by supporting out my channel, and you also get a great deal on the world's fastest VPN service. NordVPN, thanks for sponsoring. Let's talk about the atmosphere on set. Like I said, due to COVID, the crew was a lot smaller than usual, but the vibes were super good. I think it might have been because the series is like a love comedy. So I don't know, it was just really nice, chill vibes on set. Everyone was really chill and happy. Because of COVID, like things had to be shot on a fairly tight-ish schedule. So there was a little bit of pressure to get things shot kind of as soon as possible. Like it wasn't, he didn't get it, let's just try it again. It was kind of like, all right, kind of have to have this scene done by 11 because we have like 15 more scenes to shoot for the rest of the day kind of thing. This was my first time working with Dumandi. I guess my only time, sorry. my first and last. No, I don't know. Who knows what happens in the future? That's not me trying to hint at anything. I'm just saying. It was my first time working with Dumandi and yeah, Piof was really cool. Actually, you know what? Let me just take back what I said because not the cool thing. He was really cool. You guys got to remember at this time, like Nunyu was very new on the scene. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this was his first TV series ever. It was definitely his first series as a main lead. I would say was probably under the most pressure, you know, because he's new to this and his role is so large and he's in like all the scenes pretty much. And I'm pretty sure at the time he was still a university student. So he like had to like study for exams and also shoot at the same time, which was nuts. And there was 1 or 2 days, I think, where not all the scenes could get shot in that day. It was like 75% done in the day and there were like still a lot of scenes left to do. And I remember Piof just being like, it's okay, I'll just add an extra day of shooting. Now, it sounds like not a big deal. That's a pretty big deal because adding a whole extra day of shooting is super duper expensive. You need to rent out that area for a whole extra day, pay the whole crew, cameraman, soundman, catering, a whole extra days of work. Now, I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but we're talking about cash money. And Piof was like, it's fine, because he understood that people were tired. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. He didn't say these words to me, but I just assumed that this is his way of thinking that, you know, people are tired. There's no point rushing and shooting it all in one day to save money if you're not going to get a good performance. So that was really cool of him. I have a lot of respect for him for that. And I don't really talk about controversy or anything like that because I don't really know anything that's going on. I see sometimes like on my Twitter feed that sometimes like Bioff or like Dumadi has to address like things that go on every now and then. But I can only talk of my own personal experience, and my personal experience of Bioff as a person is he's a really awesome guy and he really cares about the projects that they work on and the artists that are under his management like a lot. And I've personally seen him put everyone before money, which is not a very common trait, especially in the entertainment industry, because, you know, cash rules everything around me. Because, yeah, I mean, you know, cash is a big motivation. People like their cash, but Bioff is like, nah, I'm cool. And so I really respect him for that. Really, really stand-up guy. This was also my first time working with Z as well. Now, I'd never met Z before, but I know of his existence because he's like pretty famous. And I had no idea what kind of guy I was going to be. The first time I met Z, we had a little like watch party for the first episode of White Destiny, and Z came to that. Dude, he just like came up to me. He was like, "Hey, Perth," and I was like, "Oh my God, you know my name?" Because like I'd never met the guy before, and it's kind of like weird because like when you're into the entertainment industry, it's like you know everybody because like you're on Instagram, you're on social media, you see commercials and stuff. You know who people are. You don't know them as a person, but you know of their existence. So like it's kind of weird when you meet someone for the first time. You don't know whether to introduce yourself or not because like for example, I mean I'm not like that huge, but I guess like in the BL industry, people know who I am. But like if I go up to someone and be like, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Perth." Like it's kind of like, I know who you are. But like if you say like, "I know who you are," it's kind of weird. But if you pretend like you just like, oh wow, oh nice to meet you. My name's this. Your name was Perth. It's like you don't want to pretend like you don't know people either. It's like this really gray area of like not knowing who someone is and knowing who someone is. But anyway, when I met Z for the first time, he was like, "Hey Perth." I was like, "Hi." So yeah, that was cool. So when I met him again in CutiePie, he was like super nice, really, really awesome guy. I can't remember how old he is. I think he's like 2 or 3 years older than me or something like that. But he like has like ultimate like big bro vibes. I don't know if it's just the deep voice or whatever, but he's just got like big bro vibes. After we had a workshop, we all went out to eat some food together. Like he was just like, did you want to eat this? Did you want to drink this? He's like, "Yeah, just order it." And I was like, okay. And then he got the bill at the end for everyone, which was like, I was like, so it's pretty cool. And we didn't actually have like that many scenes together. Most of my scenes were with Nutnyu and Nut. But there was that one scene, it's kind of like a negotiation scene where we're at his character's like club called Pentagon. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool name. Where he wants to like buy my business. Look, honestly guys, like I know this TV series means a lot to a lot of people and it means a lot to me too, but I don't remember the details of the conversation and I also don't remember the plot in that much detail. But first of all, that scene was the first time in my acting career up until that point where I had a lot to say because I'd played Ram, I didn't talk that much. I was in White Destiny, I didn't have that many scenes. And in Kim Porsche, I was kind of just like angry and just like talking in like short-ish sentences. This was my first kind of like just two people in a scene going back and forth with like long sentences. The first hurdle for me was remembering everything I had to say in that scene, delivering them in a way that was kind of like my character. And you know, it's kind of like a standoff between two, I'm not going to say alpha males, but two kind of like cool macho guys. So there was also that kind of pressure. And also like I was just saying before, Z is very cool. So to be able to play a character that kind of matches his aura, I guess, was also fun to do. But yeah, apart from that, we didn't really have that many scenes together. We were on set at the same time. We didn't share scenes, but that was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Like I said before, I had already worked with Max and Nut. So hanging out with those guys on set was really cool. Also, I didn't have a car, so sometimes Nut would be like, "Hey, I'm going by your house. Do you want me to take you home?" And I was like, "Well, I guess if you don't mind." So we had a few fun chats in the car ride on the way home, which was really cool. So one thing that a lot of people kind of like and talk about my character is the wardrobe. Gemini definitely had the best wardrobe out of any of the characters that I've played so far. By the way, that's why I'm wearing this kind of shirt. Like I don't really have that many shirts like Jay in real life, but I guess this would be one of the closest ones. Has some holes in it, and what you see underneath, that's skin, baby. Supple, sexy skin. No, but yeah, this is see-through. So take it how you will. Yeah, a lot of people like interested to see what Jay's shirt was going to be for the next episode. And by the way, some people were asking online, I saw recently, about why the character is called Jay, even though his name is Gemini. The reason for that is Gemini, when you say in Thai, is Je, Mi, Nai. And the word J in Thai is Je. So the Je in Gemini and the J in J, like in English it's different vowels, but in Thai it becomes the same vowel. That's why Gemini becomes J. That's why it's called Pije, right? So that's just a short explanation for anyone that was still wondering about that. Like I was saying, I didn't have that many scenes with Z. I actually wasn't on set for like that many days. Like I think for the whole series, I was probably on set for maybe like 6 or 7 days. Like not that many, because if you notice, like Jay is mostly in the same spot at his own bar, Gemini, or he's at Pentagon. So all the scenes that are shot at Jay's bar were shot like in, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days. So, oh, by the way, guys, if you didn't know, like when you shoot a series, it's shot via location. It's not in chronological order. So for example, I'll shoot the scenes from Jay's bar in episode 1, 4, 5, all on the same day. Like you just jump around. We shoot according to where we are. But I really enjoyed my time on that show. That was a really cool experience, and very grateful for Dumandi and Piof for offering me that role. It honestly gave me a lot of confidence as an actor, because I didn't think, especially in Thai, that I could play that character, and I think I did a pretty decent job. Let me know in the comments below, only if you have good things to say, because I will not accept any negative. No, I'm just joking. And it also gave me a lot of extra confidence in my Thai speaking as well, because I was like, oh, I actually can talk like this if I have to. But you know what, like actually that kind of cool guy way of talking, like more like masculine talking amongst guy friends talking style, I actually did get to use that a little bit more in my regular life, which made me feel closer to my guy friends in other TV series, which was really cool. Almost forgot to address the special episode. So what was it called? Was it like called like CutiePie again? We shot the special episode. I think it was an extra 2 episodes, which, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, I'm sure you've seen it if you're watching this video, but Gua and Kia, they get married. So we shot that at the beach, which was really fun because it was a huge change of setting from the regular series. Nice to see everyone in their suits at the beach. Yes, the beach in Thailand is super hot. We are wearing suits. Suits plus beach equals sweat. But that's just the reality of shooting TV shows in Thailand. Did that scene where I find the ring, which would be like, I was like, this is what you're looking for. And I was also the officiator of the wedding, which was pretty crazy. That was a lot of pressure. I was very surprised that particular role was given to my character. I was like, oh, you want me? You want me to? Okay, yeah, I guess, yep, I can do that. And it was really funny, like when we first started shooting it, because you know, like when you say like, you may now kiss the bride, or I guess in this case the groom, you say you may now kiss. They're like this, standing like this. I'm like standing in the middle, and at the first time we shot it, I was like, you may now kiss, and this kiss, I'm just like standing there, just like. Then they were like, cut. I was like, I should probably leave, huh? Like it's this, I shouldn't be here. This is not for me. This is not a place for me to be. So then like the next take, I was like, you mean I kiss? And then I like walk off the screen. Then it's like, you know, beautiful moment. That was funny and awkward. I wish I could just like have a recording of the footage of me just standing there, just being like, you mean I kiss? And they kiss, and I'm just like, nice. Who knows if that exists? It probably doesn't. But if I could get my hands on that footage, that would be really cool. What life was like after CutiePie. So that was a crazy year for me. I think it was 2023, because CutiePie and Kim Porsche were both like 2 of the most popular BL series of that entire year. They were on the same day, thankfully at different times, because if they were on exactly the same time, I would have been like, well, what do I do? So, you know, social media and all that, it's all about trying to get to #1 on Twitter. You know, I'm a part of both series, so I had to promote both series, which a lot of people found funny. They were like, all right, it's like another full day of work for Perth because he's got to promote the shit out of both. Which I have no problem with, because, you know, I enjoyed both characters that I played, and I was grateful that I was able to be a part of both series. So those were very, very busy Saturday nights for me, pushing both hashtags on Twitter, hashtag CutiePie, blah, 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 hashtag Kim Porsche. I think the episodes crossed over a little bit. I can't remember exactly, but I was doing both hashtags at the same time, and a lot of people like, lol, he's back at it again. It was tough, but a lot of fun, and I was very grateful to be in both of those series, because those characters were both new experiences for me as an actor, because I'd never played characters like those before. They were fun, and also, you know, the series were super popular. And as an actor, fame and success isn't the most important thing, but if you can play a character that you like playing or is fun, challenging, and you get to be in something that's popular, it's pretty damn cool. Alright, so as I always do with these videos, I go on my Discord server and I ask you guys for any questions that you have regarding the series, in this case CutiePie, and I answer them in a Q&A over on my Patreon. So I'm going to answer one question in this video just to give you a taste of what the Q&A videos are like. So the question is, there are a few instances throughout the series when Jay mentions that his tie is not great. As far as you know, was that always a part of Jay's character, or was that an added trait for you specifically? Okay, so if my recollection of events is correct, I believe in the original novel, Jay's character is supposed to be from Spain. He's actually 100% Caucasian. To answer your question, no, that was not specifically for me. I think whoever played the role probably wouldn't have been a native Thai speaker. So those lines about Jay being like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't understand you, my Thai's not that good. Actually, sometimes when he says that, he's actually just kind of messing around. He's playing mind games by saying like his Thai is not that good and he can't read Thai. I'm pretty sure he can. I think he just kind of says that to make people feel like sorry for him, so he can kind of like pretend like he doesn't understand, but he actually does. But no, that was actually already there for the character and had nothing to do with me not being a native speaker and playing the character. Alright, so if you would like to see me address more questions like that, I put a link to my Patreon in the description down below, and feel free to check that out if you're interested. That was really fun to take a look back on CutiePie. It's weird because it wasn't that long ago. Oh wait, it was 2022, not 2023. Or was it? Dude, I don't remember. Time is flying by. I am 30 years old now. Yeah, it's really fun to take this time to look back on my career as a BL actor, because obviously I wouldn't be where I am without it. By the way, guys, a lot of people are like, what's going on? Are you not doing BL anymore? Like, I am like, not like, bye BL. I am just an actor. I'm working. Like if BL comes our way, I'll be like, you know, depending on the role and the series, I would be like, yeah, sure. And if it doesn't, then that's just kind of like how the cards are dealt, I guess. But I've never been like, no, I don't do this anymore, or yes, I'm only doing this. It's just that right now I'm kind of like being involved in a few acting projects in Japan. Right now I'm in a musical, which has been really fun. It's been a really cool new experience for me. Who knows what's going to happen? That's not me trying to give you a hint, I promise. But we'll see what happens in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and the last entry into this series will be the one about Kim Porsche, which will most likely be coming out next month, so do be on the lookout for that. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video coming very, very soon. See ya!